Road rage killer Kenny Noye is spotted with a flash new £50,000 Mercedes with a top speed of 134 miles per hour. Road rage murderer Kenny Noye has been spotted with a flash new car worth around £50,000 just days after breaking news revealed he had been clocked for speeding. The double killer is driving a brand new black Mercedes GLC 220d luxury four-wheel drive, despite his apparently modest lifestyle, living in a one-bedroom flat in Sevenoaks, Kent. Noye, 75, who spent 21 years in jail for the M25 murder of Stephen Cameron, seems able to afford the car with a top speed of 134 miles per hour, even though he is a pensioner without a job. The former gangster, who also once stabbed an undercover police officer to death, was convicted in 1986 of handling gold bullion snatched in the £26 million Brinks Mat raid at Heathrow in 1983. The majority of the stolen gold was never recovered, although 11 bullion bars were found at his former home. He was jailed for 14 years and fined £500,000 and ordered to pay £200,000 costs, and served 8 years behind bars for his role in the infamous heist. The Mercedes website prices its entry-level GLC 220d models at £49,465, but motorists pay more for higher spec models. The automatic diesel model being driven by Noye, with a top speed of 134 miles per hour, is thought to have replaced his old black VW Tiguan sports utility vehicle. Noye's finances remain a mystery, and it is not known how he funds his lifestyle. As a pensioner, he is entitled to a weekly UK state pension of up to £185.15, but he would only get the full amount if he had made 30 years of national insurance contributions. It is not known what Noye would have been paid by Noye during his working life, due to him having spent nearly 30 years behind bars. When he was released from prison in June 2019, he was eligible for a £46 discharge grant. This one-off payment by the government is aimed at helping released jailbirds meet their initial subsistence costs such as travel and food. It has since increased to £76. Breaking news revealed last week how Noye was clocked speeding 47 miles per hour in a 40 miles per hour zone in his VW Tiguan on February 25 on the A225 in Otford, Kent. He was given the choice of having 3 points on his driving license or taking a speed awareness course. It is believed that Noye chose to do the course where one of the subjects he was schooled in was about the dangers of road rage. Noye stabbed undercover police officer DC John Fordham 10 times in 1985 after finding him hiding in the grounds of his 20-acre estate in West Kingsdown, Kent. The officer was keeping a watch on Noye at the time, as he was suspected of handling gold bullion from the Brinks Mat raid. Noye and Brian Reeder, who later achieved notoriety as the mastermind behind the Hatton Garden jewelry heist fame in 2015, were charged with the murder of DC Fordham. But the pair were acquitted by an Old Bailey jury after Noye claimed he had acted in self-defense as he feared being attacked. Noye was later convicted of handling some of the stolen gold, and was on license after being released from prison when he lost his cool in May 1996 and stabbed Stephen Cameron, 21, in a roadside bust-up on a slip road of the M25 at Swanley, Kent. He fled the country in a private jet provided by late Brinks Mat pal John Palmer, and made his way to southern Spain, where he was eventually recaptured in August 1998. Noye was arrested after Stephen's girlfriend Danielle Cable, who witnessed the killing, was secretly taken by British police to the area and identified him from a distance. She remains under witness protection. He was extradited back to Britain in May 1999, and Danielle bravely gave evidence against him at the Old Bailey the following year. Noye was found guilty of murder and jailed for life, and ordered to serve a minimum of 16 years, but he was freed from prison in June 2019. His parole conditions included a warning not to fall foul of the law or mix with people from criminal backgrounds. Breaking news revealed last October how Noye had struck up a close friendship with glamorous grandmother Michelle Budd, 48, who describes herself as a hippie chick, and offers horse-hugging therapy for children. Sources said he met the divorced mother of 3 at a roadside hamburger outlet near her home in Kent. Noye was later spotted visiting her home and driving around the countryside with her, taking in cozy trips to local pubs. Breaking News told how he had even turned up at her stables near Dartford, where she introduces groups of young children to her horses, helping many with anxiety or emotional problems. The blossoming friendship between the unlikely pair shocked many friends of horse lover Mrs. Budd, who were disturbed about Noye's criminal past. He is said to have simply introduced himself as Ken when he met her 18-year-old son. Noye is separated from his wife Brenda Tremine, with whom he has 2 adult sons, Kevin and Brett. He was reported in October 2020 to be back with his former love Karen Bricker Jones, a businesswoman he first dated 40 years previously before he was jailed. He was said to be dividing his time between mother of 3 Karen's smart mock Tudor 4-bedroom home in Surrey and his bachelor flat in Kent following his release from prison. Neighbors saw him carrying her food shopping and putting out the bins while staying at her property. Privately educated Karen, 59, was said to have regularly visited Noye in jail while he was serving his murder sentence. Mrs. Budd, who has 2 grandchildren, describes herself in online posts as an equine learning coach and a qualified physical education teacher. She is the owner and founder of the Kent Equine Facilitated Learning Center, a community interest company which promotes relaxation through horse care. Mrs. Budd's therapy sessions are said to help children by connecting with nature, managing emotions, and natural crafts. The website for her stables is full of pictures of children stroking and patting horses. She is said to offer help for people looking for answers, support with relationships, work, progress, acceptance, forgiveness, trauma addicts and autistic children. A friend of Mrs. Budd told Breaking News last October, she is all about peace and love and calls herself a hippie chick on Facebook. She does have a gentle and caring nature. It is all about being kind and reaching into your inner self. But Noye is evil, nasty and violent and has killed 2 people. It is hard for us as friends to see them together. They are like chalk and cheese when it comes to their individual personalities. She is a kind person who cares for the children she helps. Mrs. Budd denied she was in a relationship with Noye when questioned by Breaking News last year. When she was initially approached, she said, "I don't know what you are talking about, mate." Later she said, "I do know him. He is a family friend." But she added, "I have no comment to make, mate. It's news to me. I am a bit flabbergasted, to be fair." Asked how the fact that he had killed 2 people sat with a woman who described herself as a hippie, she added, "I have no comment to make." May 1947. Kenneth Noye was born in Bexleyheath, Kent, where his father ran a post office and his mother managed a dog racing track. His first brush with crime was at the age of 5 when his mother caught him taking cash from a till at Woolworths while she was talking to a shop assistant. He was known as a bully at Bexleyheath Boys Secondary Modern School, where he ran a dinner money protection racket. While at school, he also began selling stolen bicycles. July 1962, he left school at 15 and took on several jobs, including delivering newspapers and milk, helping in shops, selling programs at Greyhound tracks and being a newspaper vendor in central London. But he moved on to selling stolen car parts and jewelry, while acting as a fence for burglars. His crimes led to him spending a year in Borstal. While waiting to see a barrister about accusations he faced, he met legal secretary, Brenda Tremine, who became his wife. September 1970. Noye married Brenda. He built up underworld links in his early 20s and used to hang around the Hilltop Hotel, near his home in West Kingsdown, Kent, which was a haunt of gangland figures such as the Richardsons and associates of the Crays. He got more work as a fixer and fence, but also became a police informer, and even joined the Freemasons to mix with his police contacts. 1970s, he tried his hand at legitimate business, setting up a haulage company in a rundown caravan behind a garage in West Kingsdown, before becoming a builder, and then a property developer, making a £300,000 profit from a U.S. trailer park. Noye was on the wrong side of the law again in 1977 when he was given an 18-month suspended jail sentence for receiving and possessing a shotgun. 1980. As his profits grew, he bought a 20-acre site in West Kingsdown, but he was refused permission to demolish the existing bungalow on the plot. It burned down a few weeks later due to an electrical fault, and Noye replaced it with a 10-bedroom mock Tudor mansion. He also splashed out on a villa in northern Cyprus and a £700,000 yacht. November 1983, while posing as a legitimate businessman, he traded in gold, which led to him being suspected of helping the gang attempting to dispose of the £23 million haul of bullion stolen during the Brinks Mat robbery near Heathrow when 6 gunmen burst into a warehouse, doused security guards in petrol and threatened to set them on fire. The crooks took 6,800 gold bars weighing 3 tons, as well as platinum, diamonds and traveler's checks. January 1985, undercover police officer Detective Constable John Fordham, 45, was keeping a watch on Noye's home from a hiding place in the grounds when he was cornered by the gangsters' 3 Rottweilers. Noye stabbed him 10 times and he died 2 hours later. December 1985, Noye and suspected accomplice Brian Reeder, who was on the scene when DC Fordham was stabbed, stood trial for the officer's murder at the Old Bailey, but were cleared after Noye claimed he had acted in self-defense as he feared that the officer was an underworld assassin targeting him. Reeder later achieved notoriety as the mastermind behind the Hatton Garden jewelry heist in 2015. July 1986, Noye was convicted of handling some of the stolen Brinks Mat gold and conspiracy to evade VAT after 11 bullion bars were found at his home. He was jailed for 14 years after shouting at the jury who convicted him, "I hope you all die of cancer." Noye was also fined £500,000 and ordered to pay £200,000 costs. 1994, he is released from prison and managed to keep a low profile for 2 years. May 1996, Noye stabbed Stephen Cameron, 21, to death in a road rage attack on a slip road, the M25 in Swanley, Kent, while still on license following his release from prison. The murder happened after Noye was cut up by Stephen's van on a roundabout. Both vehicles stopped at a red traffic light and Noye leapt out to confront Cameron. A brawl started, but Cameron gained the upper hand, so Noye fetched a knife from his car, stabbing Stephen twice in the chest. Stephen died in the arms of his fiancée Danielle Cable, then aged 17, while Noye calmly drove off. The following day he fled the country in a private jet, allegedly provided by his late Brinks Mat pal John Palmer. August 1998, Noye arrested for Stephen's murder at a restaurant in Barbate, Spain. He was identified in Spain the previous day by Danielle, who had been flown out from the UK by undercover officers. April 2020, Noye convicted of the murder of Stephen Cameron and given a life sentence, and told he must serve at least 16 years. Danielle, who gave evidence against him, has been living with an assumed name under witness protection ever since, amid fears that she could be targeted by Noye. August 2017, Noye is authorized for move to open prison, much to the dismay of Stephen Cameron's family. He is seen a year later on day release from Stanford Hill Prison on the Isle of Sheppey, Kent. May 2019, parole board announced decision to free him after a panel including a psychologist and 2 judges decided he did not represent a significant risk to the public and had a proven ability to control his emotions. June 2019, Noye is released from Category D Stanford Hill Prison. Created by 00 Breaking News. Daily breaking and more news. Please subscribe.